Hello everyone, Burton's back. We are in Nagaroth again, playing as the Empire in the Warhammer mod Geheimnisnacht. And look what's happened. It looks like the greenskins are finally being brought to heel. We've won the war pretty much. We're just about to enforce demands and they are going to surrender. And they're going to fall under our power now. So let's have a look at that. Oh, doesn't that look good on there? Very nice indeed. So we've finally dealt with them, which is great. So let's firstly disband the army. They've done well, so they're free to go home and do what they wish. And we're going to do the same with the navy as well. I'm not going to disband them right here, because if we did that right here we would lose half the ship. So let's get them back to a friendly port and then we'll just disband them that way. Okay, so next thing. We did mention that we were going to possibly do a mass raid. Now one of the reasons we're going to try and do this is try and get some money to build up our infrastructure, build up our economy so we can eventually take back our homeland. One of the things I was debating was getting rid of these holdings, the tribal settlements, and having a look about building something else, maybe a city or a town or a castle. Only problem with that is, as you'll see now, it's going to really cost about 600 gold. And that's going to be a third of our treasury. Now when we're planning our mass invasion and raids, that's something that we can't really afford to do, so we're not going to do that just yet. Hopefully with our raids we'll be able to finance some things like that in the future, but I think mainly what we're going to do here is have a look at potential places we can take. So now that these are back, let's just quickly disband the standing army as well as the navy as well. I'm not actually going to pay any attention to that, I don't care. There we go. Right, so what we have next is target hunting. Now we've got Hexasal just below us, but these dirty lizardmen don't have any money for me to steal. So all their coastal cities are pretty much barren. And they're not even cities because they're tribal, so they've got nothing for us to take. We're not going to bother with them, because we can't even declare our holy war on them, because not only would it lose 7,500 prestige, we would also get Truce Breaker, and yeah, so we're not going to do that just yet. We've got a year in fact to wait before we can actually attack them again, so maybe in a year we'll do something about them, but at this moment our focus is across the sea. Oh, I like the fact he's a lunatic as well, that's good. Hopefully he'll still be alive when we decide to take his land from him. I say across the sea because even further down south you can see here there's still nothing for us to take. I mean, it's really a really poor region, which is making me think to maybe focus somewhere else when we do start to expand our territory. What's the point of us taking over poor regions after all? Right, so let's have a look up north. So last time we came up this sort of area here, but I'm thinking more towards the south now. So let's have a look what we've got. So Sungai. So we're getting a little bit. It's not anything worthwhile. 14, that's not too bad. But obviously if we're doing a mass raid, we're talking about taking about 20,000 men over with us and a good few hundred ships. So if we're going to do that, we want to attack people. Well, we want multiple raiding parties, maybe 10 at a time. So we need targets that are close together. Now so far here, oh that's a good target actually, 55. Yeah, maybe we'll have a look at that. Problem is we need an entire coastline, a coastline that is going to be good, so that way if one of our raiding parties gets into problems we can quite quickly back them up. So far in here's what 2-3 targets, so maybe we might be better looking elsewhere. What about up north? What have we got here? We've got Lucini, we've got Abigail. Abigail appears, well let's have a look at the strength of them. They're a bit too powerful, 11,000 max. I don't want to go for a semi-powerful empire. Mind you, it's not really worthwhile, they don't have a lot to take. One potential hold in there. Yeah, we'll forget about Abigail. All the way around, not too much going on. Oh, it's not too bad. Let's have a look for some actual trade posts, shall we? So we've got Remas. That might be worthwhile having a look at. A couple of other regions down here, what have we got? So there's a couple of them close together. Oh, I love that artwork. So essentially, I think our targets, we're probably looking a little bit more north right now. There's some okay places here, but Lucini is actually looking okay. What's their strength? Right, so 7,800, that's doable, we could do that. So perhaps we could do a landing here. Let's just quickly check the territories. They have nothing there, nothing there, something... It's not great, to be honest with you. Essentially all we're doing is getting an idea of where to go right this moment. Some promising things here. This tiny island. What have you got? Saphiro. 29 goals. Well, that might be an easy target. So I suppose while we're looking around, it might be a good idea for us to set ourselves a little goal. What is it we're trying to do? Well, we're trying to get some money, and I would ideally like to double my treasury. So we're looking for about 15 or 1600 gold, and that's going to fund our war effort when it does come to time. Now, around this area, Remus is a potential... Oh, 85? That's actually looking okay. I mean, it's only got one primary region with a lot of loot, the rest of it are really too small. So we've had a little bit of an idea. We'll have a look in a moment once we start getting everyone around. So what I suggest that I go ahead and do is I'm going to raise up, not my personal army just yet, I think we'll raise up some of the levies of the vassals. And then we'll see what we've got to deal with here. So obviously we're not going to take anyone, we're going to take about 20,000 like we said. Now, historically we've been using a lot of the big stacks of armies that we have, but we're not necessarily going to do that this time. We're going to disband some of these tiny ones, the ones that we've recently taken over. And any big stack we take, we're going to try and make sure that we split it, because ideally we want raiding parties, I would say around about 800 people or above. Now some of the larger stacks, I'm going to use them as support, and I'll show you how I'll do that in a moment, but right this moment I'm just going to gather everyone together who I'm going to take. Like, there's a small force here, 305 next to the capital, I'm probably not going to take them. We'll disband my mother's troops, she'll be sort of our backup in case anything happens while I'm away. We still have troops fairly close to the capital. So let's get rid of them. There we go. So we're looking okay for troops around this particular area. Okay. Right, so let's get everyone moving. They're all going to go to the capital. Meanwhile, this 8,000 here, what are we going to do with yous? Let's have a look at you. Okay, well that was split into two. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get them in the boat. We'll see if we can do anything with them in a moment. We'll start sending the ships over to the capital. So essentially what's going to happen now is we're really just going to concentrate on just picking the right forces for this raid, then get all of our fleets together and head them all over to the capital, where we're going to split the armies, split the fleets, get everyone on board and make sure they're all ready for the raid. Then as we're sailing over, we're going to formulate a plan of where each fleet goes. Yeah, that's right, we're not going to do a one fleet raid, we're going to do two fleets. So I think we're going to split it up. I think we're going to have probably 10 or 11,000 in each fleet, and we're going to attack two separate kingdoms. Now our intention is with this that we're going to have enough ships there to store enough of the loot. We'll see how it goes, it depends whether we run into any trouble. But I think we're going to play it smart though. So with each of the fleets that we're going to have, I think we're going to have about, say, 8 to 10 raiding parties with each fleet. Now only, well, I'll say about 90% of them will probably be raiding. I'm going to leave one party on board each fleet, and they're going to act as a little bit of a support. So if any of our raiding parties at all get into problems, we've got that one support army sitting on our fleet to come in and help. So that's the idea. We'll see if it works, because I don't raid too much. Like I say, we've done a little bit of raiding on the two islands the other episodes, and we'll see how this one goes. So I don't think I'm going to use any of the guys down the south, just because we have had problems with the greenskins and with the lizardmen, so I would really just like to use the fleets. I'm not going to use any of their armies. Oh, we're getting some construction bonuses, that's okay. So now begins the long voyage to get everyone where they need to be. And you can see my capital is looking like a bit of a mess. Oh, I forgot about you boys. Let's just disband you. And, oh, what are these? Peasant revolts going on. It's nothing to do with me though, but they are hostile against me. We'll take that for now. Right, so let's zoom in because it's the only way we can actually manage this. So yeah, a lot of ships are clogging up the waterway on the way to the capital, and we're going to send even more. All in all, I think we're going to have maybe 1,000 ships. That might be a bit overkill. We'll see what it's like when we get everyone together. Now, I'm not going to bother too much with who's going to be assigned to leading each raiding party, because that'd just be a little bit too much. We do have a couple of options there. We could hire a sorceress and take her with us, but no, I have enough problems with my mother wife and her magic. Never mind another sorceress. So everyone's almost there. The second fleet has gotten together, so we're going to start sending them up north as well. That's a whole lot of planning, isn't it? All these bloody raids. But we said we were going to try and do it, and that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So as you can see, we've got 20,000 men. What it might be an idea if we just start getting all these ships, obviously, out of the incorrect ports, get them up to the capital in Nagarond, and then maybe have a look at breaking things down a little bit. So 899 ships and more to come. Yeah, we've definitely gone over the top with the ships. I don't think we'll be getting all that money because, God, what would that be? Like 10,000 or something we'd be able to take in 1,000 ships? Yeah, I doubt very much we'll take 10,000, so we might disband some of these ships when they all arrive. We'll have a good look in a minute. Right, there we go, so they're all there. Right, what are we waiting on now? Anything else? No, let's start having a look at the armies. So, first things first, let's make sure all the numbers are correct. So we've got some large stacks, we've got some 5,000, some 3,000s. It's important that we can actually get these split. Let's try and split this 2,000 one first. There we go, so we've got two 1,000 armies now. And unfortunately, that's too many for us to actually manage. So we're definitely going to have to take it in two fleets. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to see half our raiding forces. Looks like we've got the majority of the ships now. We're going to be over 1,000. Yes, yes, we have definitely overdone it. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. There's also someone who needs educating. It's probably one of my daughters. I'll have a look at that in a moment. So first things first, we've got too many ships. So let's start separating them. We've got 384. We're going to send them down to the secondary port. Because we don't need all of these. It's not going to do us any good whatsoever. It's just going to make our management of this a little bit tougher. So I think, yeah, we'll get rid of, I don't know, 400 or so. So we'll just send all of them down. This is the time I wish I had my shortcuts installed, but I don't. Right, so they're all on the way. That's fine. Off you go. Right, so now they're all there. Let's have a look at the army. So let's get half of this army on the boats. Before we do, we need to make sure that we've got them all set up to raid. Because that will be a long trip across the sea if I've forgotten to give them all axes to knock down doors and steal cash. There's the 486, they've all arrived now, so 580, yeah, that's enough. We'll disband this other force in a moment. So as you can see, low capacity, we can carry up to 57,000 troops, up to 5,760 loot is what we can take. So that proves that we don't need this fleet. Let's get rid of them. And to be honest, it would be nice to have a fleet left at home just in case worst case scenario does happen. We'll still be able to move the remaining armies across our lands to take care of any rebellions or anything like that. Okay, so let's split the fleet. So we've got 287 ships in one. We'll send them down and we'll start getting men across. So let's toggle the looter. And this is why I was saying that we need to split them up, because we cannot split them up anymore because we can't see some of them, which is a shame. So all aboard. just trying to make sure they're as even as possible when we're sending them across here. So we do have quite a few. We can split them as well, that's fine. 2 forces of 2,700. That's good. They can be probably our relief forces. I like to leave a big force on the boat. So there we go, we've got them both together now, that's good. Right. So 10,866 men on that one. And it looks like we're probably going to go for 12,000 on the other. That's not too bad at all. So fairly even mix. I've not bothered to have a look into whether it's heavy infantry, light infantry, anything like that. A raider is a raider, and we just need the numbers right now. So all of them are on, just double checking everything. Yep, that looks fine. Anyone worth splitting? No, you can't split them, we've already split them already. Right, get them on the secondary fleet. So there's a lot of planning that's going into this, and we're not entirely sure where we're going to send all of these raiding troops. We've only identified maybe, what, 5 targets that'll be worth our trouble. When we're sailing over, we'll have a look, we'll see if there's anywhere else that we should go. There are plenty of kingdoms in the east, and I think very soon we're gonna find ourselves a good target. Right, so I think it's time. Let's get everyone all ready, and we'll send them across the sea. Yeah, we'll send them to where we were looking at, which was down this sort of area here. In the Great Ocean, they can meet up there. That will give us some time, because it'll take them a good while. They'll still sail across the north and the Northern Sea first, which is fine. And then while they're doing that, we can have a check on everything else. Just making sure the looters are toggled. Because it would be a bit silly if I got all that way over and they weren't. Right, we're off. So it looks like we have begun. Right, let's have a look at finding some places to raid. The funny thing is, as we're actually going across the sea now, we're actually going to pass the last 2 islands we raided on our little test. So we'll have a quick look at them. We won't stop and raid them again, but it'll be interesting to see. It was Yasmith, my daughter, so we'll have to go ahead and get her educated. She's actually really good at diplomacy, so we'll send her to my mother wife. She can deal with her. Just don't make her evil, okay? Brilliant, yep, that's fine. She's only 6. Just make sure everyone else is alright. Yep, that all looks okay. Still not bothering with these duchies. Righteous imprisonment. We can ask them to stop back in the plot, but I don't think they will. No, that's fine. And before we go away, it might be best if we have a look at factions. Just in case, I wouldn't want anything to kick off. And yeah, there's a problem. Independence faction. With 47,000 men, we need to do something about that. Let's do a survey. So the survey of Nagaroth means that we get recently employed spy network, and that'll break up a lot of these, which is good. That's a great thing for us to have. Let's have a look at that in action, in fact. See straight away how it's just dropping right on down. That's going to manage it for a little bit. It's cost us a little bit of prestige, but you know, what is prestige when we're taking over new lands every day? We're not going to bother about our plots. Let's have a look. There's the islands that we raided last time. Let's see what they've got left. They've got 17, they've rebuilt okay, and they've got nothing, unsurprisingly. In fact, I think we still have a child from one of them in our prison. We can't sell them because they don't want to pay 10 gold for them, so they're just stuck there. Norska are, yeah, they're going to be too much for us. I'm just having a look at the north as we're passing, so yeah, the north is actually looking really, it's actually looking really poor. Yeah, I don't think we're going to bother with the north. Oh, we've got Bretonia. And a couple of others. All these will probably be a little bit too strong for us. And they're not actually as rich as you would expect. I mean, look at that. What's that? It's not even 20 gold. Next door's a little bit better off by the looks of it. Not a lot though. Yeah, I think we're gonna go down south. There is somewhere next to Bretonia that I saw a moment ago, and I think we might have a look at that. Tagara. Yeah, let's have a look at Tagara, and there's Las Marcus as well. So Las Marcus is small. There's not really enough targets for us there. Oh, now we're talking. So 2, 3. Yeah. Providing these guys don't have a strong army, I think these are going to be our first target. Yeah, that looks fine. Right, Tagara it is. Right, so we're going to send one fleet there. If I can remember how to do it, there we go. Anytime. Right, here we go. Pick the fleet this time, not the army. Brilliant. Right, so one fleet's off to Tagara, the other fleet I'm going to continue heading down south. Very soon. Oh, I was going to say very soon we're going to arrive, but there we go. The Greenskins are having a conquest against Randall, my Lord Marshal who I've left at home. We'll probably be able to put them down, but I knew something would happen as soon as we went away, which is why I've left men there who are fully capable of dealing with it. That's it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you're still enjoying the series. You know what to do. Raise those thumbs. Cheers.